We have breaking news. New York Attorney General Letitia James has pleaded not guilty to mortgage fraud charges. President Trump's handpicked U.S. attorney indicted James earlier this month after he publicly called for James and others to be prosecuted. James successfully brought a civil fraud case against Trump in 2022 and leads multiple lawsuits challenging his administration's policies. Now her trial is set for January 26th. Let's bring back ABC News legal contributor James Sample for more. James, no huge surprise here. She says she's pleading not guilty to both of these charges.
Yeah, Letitia James has obviously been in court as much as any criminal defendant ever could be. She's got experience. She, I'm sure, articulated that with a certain pizzazz to indicate just how she feels about these charges. But she pleaded not guilty. That's not a surprise. They agreed on a trial date for late January. I suspect we're going to see a lot of motion practice between now and then as she tries to get rid of this case entirely.
And talk a little bit more about that. What are you watching for in those motions leading up to the actual trial date?
So, like James Comey, yesterday she filed a motion in court indicating that she intends to seek the dismissal of these charges on multiple grounds, one of which is that she argues that Lindsey Halligan, the newly appointed U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, was unlawfully appointed, and therefore that the indictment, which she's the only one to have signed, presumably, is invalid. She's also expected to file motions for vindictive and selective prosecution, and of course she'll contest the charges on the merits, indicating that as the attorneys in the Eastern District of Virginia before Lindsey Halligan took office indicated that the prosecution lacks merit.
She could speak outside court at any moment if she chooses to when she comes out. What do you expect to hear from her?
I don't know if she'll speak or not, but she certainly has already put out a statement. She gave a fiery set of remarks when the initial indictment came down. She's certainly savvy enough to be able to speak and without causing any trouble. I suspect Abby Lowell, her attorney, trusts her to speak directly. Normally, you wouldn't want a criminal defendant to speak directly. You'd have the attorney speak on their behalf. She may choose to speak directly. I suspect that, like James Comey, she's going to come out firing.
You know, they say doctors make the worst patients. What happens when you're the attorney and the defendant?
The normal course of events, like that doctor statement, is that an individual who represents him or herself has a fool for a client. Letitia James is no fool. Abby Lowell is no fool. They're going to approach this like veterans that they are.
All right, James Sample, always great to have you. Anything else you're watching out for in terms of this case that you feel like us non-legal scholars should know?
I think just the retribution aspect. I mean, you've got the James Comey matter, you've got the John Bolton matter, and you've got the Letitia James matter. They're not all the same, but there is overlap and similarity.
All right, James, thank you.
Thank you.